We have developed speed, but we have shut ourselves in. Machinery that gives abundance has left us in want. We think too much and feel too little. More than machinery, we need humanity.
We know the air is unfit to breathe and our food is unfit to eat. As if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy.
Silence! The great and powerful Oz knows why you have come.
You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
You have meddled with the primal forces of nature.
Don't give yourselves to brutes. Men who despise you, enslave you, who regiment your lives, tell you what to do, what to think, or what to feel, who drill you, diet you, treat you like cattle, use you as cannon fodder. Don't give yourselves to these unnatural men with machine minds and machine hearts.
With Jason Bermas.
And who loves you? And who do you love?
Yeah, we are live, and it's been like a month since we did a mixed martial mindset. I haven't talked to you about MMA or people getting punched in the face other than a live chat. And then today was also, I might just light one up too there, John. Today was also the big day where The Who has announced, John, that COVID-19 84 is officially over.
Oh, wow.
They've Tedros said it.
What's that?
Oh, wow. I know. I hope it'll get me in trouble for any
Did it even really start?
John,
hey,
we're on YouTube.
To make sure that everybody is extra vigilant about the flu now.
Yeah. Well, let's be careful.
It's going to come back with a vengeance. It took a whole year off.
I mean,
took a whole year off and didn't kill anybody. And it's just out there lurking, man. Be careful.
That was what was really incredible in that Fauci clip that everybody missed with the guy that told him off. Yeah.
And he said that out loud. He said out loud. He just admitted to it. Oh, well, there was no, but it's on his mind. He's running through it in his head a lot. He's like, oh, everybody's going to figure it out. Flu disappeared for a year.
Listen, we got to stop because I don't want this taken down. We are on YouTube.
This is all satire. This is all jokes.
Yeah, we're just, it's jokes today.
Satire.
The other hilarious joke, John, I don't know if you've seen this, not only has the official authoritative source of the World Health Organization that obviously loves us declared this, but the head of the CDC, Walensky, resigned today, John.
Oh, wow.
Oh. So
I wonder if he's going to if they're going to take a permanent job somewhere that pays a lot of money next. Geez, I wonder if that'll happen.
Guys, it's, Jonesy was making a big deal out of this, by the way, today on his show. And he should, because this is a big deal. Because what's actually happening now is there's a purge of people that may actually be legally responsible if enough is done. Okay, so they get to go, and they'll still have their plausible deniability. Because you know what else came out this week, right?
Just following orders, bro.
So
just trying to keep everybody safe. I was just trying to keep everybody safe as the new. I was just following orders.
Isn't that awesome that you can just say that? Exactly. I'm just following orders.
My intentions were good. It doesn't matter if I killed a bunch of people.
Whoa! No one killed anybody. They saved lives, John. Jesus Christ. They're lifesavers. These are the best people ever. So Walensky resigns, announces...
That's all in a TikTok dance video. It must be true.
So here's the deal, guys. I just want everybody to know what's happening. The SPARS document lays it out. As the narrative crumbles, those in power have to go, and they also have to put out their bullshit white papers, John. So there's a new report out this week called The War on COVID, or The War of COVID, or some kind of Johnny nonsense. Guess who the head of it is? Same guy who headed up the 9/11 Commission, Philip Zelikow.
Wow.
Oh,
So we can be expecting a thorough.
it's already done.
Totally thorough investigation. Oh, that makes
Mistakes
my
were
heart-
made. We need more tests, quicker shots, not as many lockdowns. Okay.
More masks. Even more masks. Oh.
It boggles my mind that they literally, without shame, almost 20 years later, everybody, because the 9/11 Commission, I believe, if my memory serves me well, and even though everybody thinks that this kills your memory, mine's pretty sharp, everybody, was 2003. So 20 years later, they roll out the same cartel mother trucker. You know what I missed in that 9/11 Commission report, John? I missed that whole CIA asset hijacker thing. That wasn't in there. That's really weird.
Yeah, that's weird. Weird that our government officials and people who knew about stuff wasn't in there at all. Huh.
It's very bizarre. That's all I'm going to say. So earlier today,
Those experts, they never get it wrong, ever.
especially when it comes to intelligence. I mean, the intelligence community has been pretty
Where somebody could get in actual trouble for doing something wrong. Get out of here. Come on.
Oh my goodness, it's a wild day. So I'm sitting there, I'm watching. I'm trying to think what I was watching today, because you know what I've been on a kick doing now, John, when it's kind of just in the background, and I'm reading something or whatever. I put on old 70s and 80s television. I put on like antenna TV, right? So I'll check out Johnny Carson from back in the day, and I'll see what the pulse is there. Richard Dawson, right? He did the old Family Feud. He's in the intro, the Running Man intro. Bro,
Yep.
I watched one episode. That dude was kissing little girls
Everybody.
up until they're 98 on the mouth down the line. Every episode. Like, it's not, you've seen the highlights that you just can't believe. But every episode, the family on both sides, he's holding hands, rubbing them, flirting with the grandmothers, telling the guy he has a pretty wife. It's another world.
Good old television. Good old television.
So I may have been watching...
I like to watch the old movies and television and pay attention to the fact that there are no fat people anywhere. And sometimes the designated fat character that they have in the show isn't even obese at all. My girlfriend, she's never seen the movie The Witches. You've seen the movie The Witches? It's an old movie. It's a kid's movie. It's an English movie. Kid goes to some place with his grandma and there's a witch convention, right? Well, the fat kid in that movie, who's like the Augustus Gloop type character, he wasn't fat at all. Like, he was eating all the time, and they were trying to make him the fat kid. And I was like, "Are you kidding me? Like, he barely has a pooch belly at all."
Again, different times. We're in different times. I was watching.
Now you get kids being a little rascal.
I was watching Family Ties. Alex P. Keaton. So what made Michael J. Fox famous? And it's this episode of him like getting ready to leave high school and be recruited by a fraternity. So he's sitting down with these two guys, and they're like all like, "What family are you from?" And, "Oh, you go back to the Mayflower." And I'm just thinking to myself,
yeah, I do. I go back to Mayflower.
Yeah. No, you go all the way back to the Mayflower? You look like you go back to the prehistoric times, John. No offense. You look...
Original colonizer here, bro.
And I think that's where I saw it, which was a brand new ad for a new antidepressant on top of an antidepressant. Now, we've played these commercials before, okay?
It's gross. It's gross. I have such a huge problem with people, and we have this addiction to authority. Like, oh my God, I must talk to the expert to give me permission to do whatever the thing is I need to do. I had a little pimple, like, swelled up real bad, and my girlfriend and my mom were freaking out. Like, "You need to go get antibiotics. Talk to the doctor." and it got pretty swollen. It was bad.
Okay.
But regardless, like I've dealt with skin infections and that type of shit a very long time, 40 years, almost 40 years. I'm pretty well versed in everything that's going on, and I can make a decision on whether or not I need to do something or not. And it's just, I'm not an expert though. That doesn't count as expert because I don't have the piece of paper, but I can go and talk to somebody who has a piece of paper who's never seen a staph infection, who's never seen a skin infection of any type ever in his entire career, but he's got the piece of paper. So he's the expert, and you got to listen to that guy. And it doesn't matter. He tells you oh yeah, you're 100% correct. Everything you said is correct. Like he can tell you that. Like the people around you still won't take your word. They're like, yeah, hey man, I know how to read. I know how to read. I know how to look things up. I know how to critically think. Yes, I understand. I understand the idea of putting in hundreds to thousands of hours on a subject, on a thing, right? Fighting, like putting it in, going through it, doing it. I get it. There's definitely tangible, something to it. But at the same time, yeah, I can put a DVD together. I can put a book together. And you can follow the steps pretty well to do a pretty good job of learning a technique. And at that point, it really comes down to your repetition and your diligence with it. It's not like, oh, well, you didn't come to the official place to get your paper.
I'm glad you talked about that because right now we're in a culture and a society that tells you not to do your own research, literally. They
laugh at you. People like the smugness from doctors or experts who are like, oh, you have this guy Googled something. What an idiot. Like, wait a minute. So you're telling me, doctor, that you have more knowledge than the collective knowledge of human history?
Yes.
You have more, you know more than the entire internet put together. That's how smart you are. These people have their heads so far up their own asses. I am so much smarter than everybody else because I went to Harvard. It's like everything that you learned is in a book or on the internet or somewhere that everybody else can access. You're not special.
Well, and
you're not.
The other thing is that they use that tool not just for what they call moderation, but censorship in the basis of moderation. So now you get censored because you're not that person. And if you are that person and you are part of an authoritative source, you will immediately be fired or dealt with or castrated afterwards as soon as you go rogue. And we saw it.
They'll pull your piece of paper away. They'll say your piece of paper is worthless now.
Yes. Exactly. Oh, I mean, let's look at characters that have already been marginalized, right? Like Scott Atlas marginalized, Peter McCullough marginalized.
Even they tried to shut up Peterson. That was the only reason Dr. Peterson became really famous, was because they were trying to do that to him, and he pushed back.
And that was really in the beginnings of the culture war via these pronouns and this transformation.
Compelled pronouns.
Yes. And look how far it's gotten. He wasn't wrong. And a lot of people forget that even before we got to the COVID 1984 nightmare, they were censoring on behalf of, quote unquote, the whistleblower, Erica Caramello Bar. You could never say the real name because you weren't allowed to know who blew the whistle on Trump on his Ukraine phone call with the corrupt Zelensky because he wanted to, investigate corruption. It was a perfect phone call, everybody. I hate to tell you. There was no real whistleblower, and the guy was connected to Democratic Party powerhouses. It's ridiculous. But for the authoritative sources needed to keep us in the dark, and for moderation purposes, censorship, we've got harassment and bullying, all these things. Meanwhile, they'll run ads like this on YouTube. They run ads like this on television. And John, I watched one today and I was sick to my stomach. I've got 1, 2.
Is it already over? Did it already over? Did it already end?
No, we haven't played it yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
One. Yeah. That's because I started. I thought I started it in the.
No.
Because I'm watching I'm watching Game Bread's Bare Knuckle.
Oh, right now? He's got Bare Knuckle going on right now?
He got the only Bare Knuckle license event for MMA.
Really?
Yes. So I think it's free on YouTube right now.
Oh, is it really?
MMA Junkie, I think, was streaming it. I had it on
Interesting.
before.
Well, now I'm pulling up my IPTV as we speak, so I can maybe also have that in the background.
Yeah, I might have that in the background.
I might have that in the background too, but we do have to watch this because it's incredible. So the first one I watch, and by the way, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these commercials. Okay, we're gonna play them all. It's gonna be the beef of the show today, everybody. Then we'll talk a little MMA. First one event in America coming up tomorrow. Risen. It's on tonight at 1 a.m. as well. That's a late night show. And then, of course, we got the UFC Cejudo versus Sterling. Okay. Guys, I'm just going to let the commercial speak for itself. This is a commercial where they're trying to sell you a drug based on another drug that you're already taking because you're not happy, but they're convincing you that you're happy enough that you're going to take another drug on top of it. And then it's going to tell you all the side effects. Like if you're elderly, you could have a stroke and die. Or if you're anybody else, you could have suicidal thoughts and actions. If you're anybody else.
It's unbelievable the crap that they get to push on people. It's really unbelievable. Like, I have no words. I was dealing with stenosis in my neck. Right? I didn't want to get surgery. I wanted to keep fighting. And I was going to talk to these different doctors. And one of the doctors was like, hey, how about you just take these pills? He's like, it's an antidepressant that will deaden and dull the nerve that's getting pinched. And I was like, oh, that sounds kind of good. Maybe I'll take that. He's like, okay, just read through the pamphlet of stuff when you get the pill. I picked it up. It was a booklet. It was a booklet about a 1/4 inch thick of like all the crazy shit you might do and hurt people. It's like, make sure you get rid of all your guns and knives in the house. Like, put them away. I'm like, what? What is this? What are you telling me? Like, it was in the thing, and I was just like, all right. I threw the booklet away, and I washed all the medicine out in the water. I guess I probably should have put it in the water system, but I just washed it all out. I was just like, no way, bro. I'm not for some neck pain. You're gonna have me doing this stuff? What is wrong with you?
Well, let's get ready. Wait till you see this one, and then again, we've got 5 commercials after this one. Everybody, here we go.
Partial response. That's when your antidepressant helps, but it's only part of what you need. And you're still left masking how you really feel inside.
Fitness,
it's not your
exercise.
fault. Many people
Good
still
diet.
I mean, first of all, look at it. It's like everybody else having a good time except for you, but you're telling everybody.
I want to make I need to do that. I need to make an antidepressant pill. Feeling depressed? Quit being a bitch. Go outside. Go for a jog. Lift some weights.
First of all, like,
wrestle.
If you're out there and socializing, that's step 1 to start getting rid of depression. I mean, there's a lot more out there. You know, it's not just
do
socializing.
something. Depression comes from being inactive. Depression comes from not making things happen. There's something that you are not getting done, and it makes you sad. Go get it done.
So this person, again, I want everybody to understand, they're already on an antidepressant, and it's kind of working because they told you it's kind of working. Let's see what happens.
Experience depression symptoms even on an antidepressant. But together with your
school yet, it's working.
Doctor, there are things you can do, like adding REXULTIi.
When added to an antidepressant, REXULTIi was proven to reduce depression symptoms 62% more than the antidepressant.
So look, this says 6-week study in adults with ongoing symptoms of depression still taking an antidepressant. Individual results may vary. And remember, this is the official number. Oh, there was a greater reduction in depression symptoms. So think about how broad that is. It's not just, it wasn't in depression itself, the 62%, but the symptoms of depression. These people, guys, I'm telling you right now, they're full of shit, but just what, here's all the good things that can happen if you're on this.
Alone, so you can build on your progress.
REXULTIi can cause serious side effects. Elderly dementia patients have increased risk of death or stroke. Antidepressants may increase suicidal thoughts and actions and worsen depression in children and young adults. Report fever.
Worsen depression in children and young adults. Suicidal thoughts and actions. Let's keep going.
Stiff muscles and confusion, which can be life-threatening, or uncontrolled muscle movements, which may be permanent.
So life-threatening, uncontrollable muscle movements that may be permanent. I'm bringing that one back. Everybody listen to this again. It's insane.
Antidepressants may increase suicidal thoughts and actions and worsen depression in children and young adults. Report fever, stiff muscles, and confusion, which can be life-threatening, or uncontrolled muscle movements, which may be permanent. Increased cholesterol, weight gain, high blood sugar, low white blood cells, unusual
low white blood cells. They're telling you it destroys your immune system.
Just dizziness on standing, falls, seizures, trouble swallowing, or sleepiness may occur. When depression sets you
Can't
back,
eat, sleep. You'll have seizures. But hey, man, that depression will be a little bit better, maybe.
Maybe. Kind of.
Maybe.
Sort of.
62% chance.
But listen, she does, John, what I'm taking away here at the end of this commercial is that she's actually smiling, and she doesn't have her fake smiley face anymore. Obviously, everything, all those other things were worth it because she's in Smileville here. So this is going to wrap up. It's going to get into the next one, guys. Again, REXULTIi. This is the stuff that pays for the news and the narrative. This is the stuff that's on television being sold to people.
keep moving forward. Ask your doctor about adding REXULTIi to your antidepressant.
REXULTIi. It's really annoying that people don't just are completely outraged about this stuff all the time.
They absolutely should.
I mean, I comment so often about awful commercials. My kids do it now. It's great. Like, oh, this is garbage. You're lying. Like all the time. Now my kids are doing it. It's great. Like people at home, teach your kids. If it's commercial, don't trust it. Just straight up. Have them start from that perspective. It's probably a lie, and they're probably trying to take your money from you. Start from that position first, and then work forward.
Taking my antidepressant daily, but I would still put up a brave face to hide feeling depressed. My depression made me feel like I was stuck on autopilot. Then I saw something that got me thinking. I'm still...
That picture where she's holding up reminds me of like people holding up their pronouns.
You know what I've gotten from the beginning? First of all, I mean, don't get me wrong. You do have, I think, a subset of people that are really just bogged down in this life that they didn't think they were going to be in. They're not incredibly happy. They're constantly told that they should be happier or have this thing. They're scrolling all the time. Their marriage isn't working, blah, 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 blah. And those people often, like, first of all, this lady, they're showing her every day. They're not outside a lot. It's not sunny all the time with other people at picnics. I hate to tell everybody, if you're doing those things most of the time, things are okay. Not all the time, I get it. People do put on that strong face. But then you see like the day in, day out stuff. First of all, a lot of depressed people, they're just not that clean. This woman's got her makeup on. She's got her business suit. Even here, she's in her little proper suit. But she's putting on her smiley face. Don't worry. The drugs are going to make everything better. And you notice there's no difference in what she was doing before or after. It's the same thing, except for she's on the drugs. When in reality, you have to change your behavior if you want to get out of depression. I'm just telling everybody that.
Feeling depressed. What do you think about adding REXULTIi?
It could help. When taken with an antidepressant, REXULTIi was proven to reduce depression symptoms an extra 62% compared to the antidepressant alone. So you can stay on your current treatment and keep
So you get
moving
even
forward.
extra less depressed. What does that even mean? Let's double stack. Let's stack your freaking antidepressants now.
They've been doing it for over a decade. This is just the first time I heard this one. It was Abilify before. And Abilify, there's lawsuits on Abilify. Let's do it live. Let's bring it down.
It sounds like it should have lawsuits.
But it was something, Abilify.
It sounds like an awful movie freaking script.
There it is. Settlements, amounts, and injury claims. That's the thing. A drug just like this back in the day, everybody, had side effects and settlements. Okay, Abilify, thousands of patients have sued.
They made it a little less crazy. Now it's out again.
Yeah, I mean, again,
Give it a new name.
This is even, I mean, Abilify lawsuit, something about compulsive gambling. Really? That's interesting. A gambling lawsuit. I'm concerned more about the other one. Is there a class action lawsuit? Abilify patients who suffered losses as a result of compulsive behaviors have filed lawsuits against the drug maker. So I guess you would say, not just gambling, they featured gambling. Anybody who was addicted to anything else, compulsive behaviors. Interesting. All right, let's go back. Let's find out how REXULTIi, it must be better and different than Abilify, and it's going to stop your depression.
Serious side effects. Elderly dementia patients have increased risk of death or stroke. Antidepressants may increase suicidal thoughts and worsen depression in those under 25. Call your doctor about fever, stiff muscles, and confusion, which could be life-threatening, or uncontrollable muscle movements, which may be permanent. Increased cholesterol, weight gain, high blood sugar, decreased white blood cells, unusual urges, dizziness on standing, seizures, trouble swallowing may occur. When depression sets you back, keep moving forward.
Just keep moving forward. If you get fatter, have lower blood cells, have higher blood pressure, might have a stroke, might have more suicidal thoughts.
I guarantee erectile dysfunction is on there.
Yeah, I guess they don't tell you everything. So let's get to the next one. This is a REXULTIi, everybody. We love REXULTIi. REXULTIi.
Even when I was with the people I love, I was masking my depression.
Again, everybody's at a picnic at a birthday party with the people they love in the beginning.
Maybe the people you're around are shitty. Maybe that's part of the problem. Because it's usually the depressed people are usually the people who aren't even out at the thing. They're in their shitty room.
That's what I'm saying. This isn't real. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
And the thing is that you're watching too much TV. You're buying into the nonsense. You're thinking back, I was at a birthday party 4 months ago and I wasn't happy either. You haven't been anywhere in 4 months.
Maybe that's me. Maybe I'm that person. Maybe I should have REXULTIi.
I'm already on 4 other antidepressants. Why not? Let's add this one.
I was taking an antidepressant, but my depression symptoms still made me feel isolated. Is it just me?
It's not just you. Many people.
Have you noticed that every doctor's been a blonde woman too?
Maybe, this is the other thing too, is I think not everybody is built to be around people. Some people, you may like people just fine, but sometimes you just want to be alone. It's okay. You don't have to feel like you fit in with everybody at the party who's talking about sports ball or the political thing that everybody wants to support right now. It's okay. You don't need meds.
Yeah, but you know what? That comes with self-confidence, man. And they've destroyed so many people's self-confidence. And they've done that by making them dependent on so many things. The more independent you are, in my opinion, you're taking care of yourself. You're not playing a victim. Yep. You're getting stuff done.
That's why they destroy the church. That's why they destroy the family unit. It's easier to control people when they're isolated.
Isolated, alone, dependent. Hey, I need that check from the government or I can't pay my bills. I need that EBT card or I'm not going to be able to eat. I don't feel good. I don't really have insurance, but I do have government insurance and they'll cover the meds. They'll cover REXULTIi. So all right, another blonde woman telling another depressed woman. This is the third commercial going after women. Don't worry.
When are we going to stop trusting these blonde college-educated women?
Experience a partial.
This could be like the hotter Dr. Jill Biden, everybody.
Response to their antidepressant. Let's add REXULTIi. When added to an antidepressant, REXULTIi was proven to reduce depression symptoms 62% more than the antidepressant alone. So you can build on your progress.
REXULTIi can cause serious side effects. Elderly dementia patients have increased risk of death or stroke. Antidepressants may increase suicidal thoughts and actions and worsen depression in children and young adults.
I just can't. Every time I hear it, it's crazy to me. But hey, they're at a concert.
That's what I like to do. I like to pop some antidepressants and go to a nice concert.
Fever, stiff muscles, and confusion, which can be life-threatening, or uncontrolled muscle movements, which may be permanent. Increased cholesterol, weight gain, high blood sugar, low white blood cells, unusual urges, dizziness on standing, falls, seizures, trouble swallowing, or sleepiness may occur.
Unusual urges. Think about that broad spectrum.
What is an unusual urge?
You know what,
bro?
I've never shoved a plunger in my ass before.
I want to put ice cream on my pizza. Is that the kind, or I'm gonna go shoot up this Christian school?
It's a good question.
Which one is the unusual urge?
Yeah,
you're referring to.
It's ridiculous. All right, we're gonna keep going down the line. This one's wrapping up, but don't worry, we got another REXULTIi moment.
When depression sets you back, keep moving forward. Ask your doctor about
Even when you're taking an antidepressant, you may still be struggling with depression.
Like Like, again, she can't go out shopping. She's in the dark aisles. She's got to put up her face. And they targeted women hard in these ads, by the way, guys. Hard.
Who do you think? Have you seen the chart of like women at 45 years old and like how many of them are alcoholics or like abusing psychotropic drugs? Yeah. Like, it's insane. It's like all this feminism to create a bunch of pilled up alcoholics.
Bro, I've seen it. So listen, I'm just going to tell a quick personal story. I'm not going to tell who it is because it's still my good friend. I love him to death. I've known the family forever. But this is a lady who didn't have to work in the family business, okay, at all, ever. Her husband probably made between $1 million and $2 million every year with the business, worked very hard, 6 days a week, had his own issues. We all have our vices, right? But by, I don't know, probably 5 to 10 years ago, she was just getting hammered all the time, all day, and on meds. He'll never tell me what the meds are, but he'll always talk about the alcohol with me, right? Because the meds are accepted because the doctor gives her the meds. It got to the point, John, this woman was probably at the time between 48 and 53 years old. Has never worked ever, except for to occasionally come in the business and bitch at the workers who work for her. Okay, never. I'm just going to tell you that I've known the guy for decades. Never worked. They found her 3 blocks away from her house, passed out on the sidewalk, like grass part, from being so drunk at 7 in the afternoon on a Tuesday. Or 7 in the evening, whatever, 7 in the evening on a Tuesday.
That's a good Tuesday.
Bro, she wants for nothing. You know what I mean? There is nothing that she couldn't have, except for maybe a Lamborghini or a Bugatti. I mean, got everything. There was never a meal she didn't have. There's never no. You know what I mean? This is the type of family that has a 30-plus-year-old son living there because he doesn't have to do anything. You know what I mean? Like, she'll buy him everything with her husband's money. Like that type of thing. So you're right. It's awful. Like, you would think that, but to my boy's credit, they're still married. He just retired. You know, they're taking vacations together. Maybe he'll make it work. But I mean, if that fucking lady ain't happy, who's happy? Another personal story. I'm just gonna leave it at that. This person is a relative, somebody I grew up with. She is also the wife of a millionaire. Her husband makes millions of dollars a year. He doesn't have to do much. He's in the tech industry, programs, video games. Millions a year, John. Just in the last 2-3 years, I've been to their home. It's gorgeous. They have 2 beautiful children. Everything you could want. Everything that she talked about. And this part of my family is very religious too, very Christian, all that. She has it all. Now she's on psychotropic drugs and she's just not happy. And she's posting on social media about her depression constantly. I mean, money doesn't buy happiness. I'm not saying that, folks. But, I mean, again, sometimes you have to realize it's you. The pill's never going to change it. You got to really take a hard look at you and what you want to do. But the television, which I'm sure she's been watching, John, just like the wife has been watching year after year and decade after decade, the television tells her different, and so does her doctor. So they listen to the television and they listen to the doctor because REXULTIi.
Try to put on a brave face, but inside the symptoms linger. In fact, 2 out of 3 people taking an antidepressant may still experience unresolved symptoms. When added to your current antidepressant, REXULTIi, brexpiprazole, has been shown to reduce symptoms of depression. It may help you feel better without giving up the progress you may have made with your current antidepressant. REXULTIi is not for everyone. Call your doctor about unusual changes in behavior, worsening depression, or thoughts of suicide. Antidepressants can increase these in those 24 and younger. Elderly dementia patients taking REXULTIi have an increased risk of death or stroke. Call your doctor if you have high fever, stiff muscles, and confusion to address a possible life-threatening condition, or if you have uncontrollable muscle movements, as these may be permanent. High blood sugar was reported with REXULTIi, and in extreme cases can lead to coma or death. Other risks are increased cholesterol, weight gain, decreased white blood cells, which can be serious, dizziness on standing, seizures, trouble swallowing, and impaired judgment or motor skills. Don't give up on the progress you may have made with your current antidepressant. Talk to your doctor about adding REXULTIi and feel better about facing the world. You may qualify to get your first 30 days free. Visit REXULTIi.com for details.
So we're continuing to go down the line and back in time. Don't worry, we've got 2 more REXULTIi commercials for you guys. REXULTIi. You won't forget this one, John. REXULTIi. And then we're going to talk a little MMA.
Man, have you seen the Kids in the Hall brain candy? I brought it up before.
Yeah, I remember brain candy.
It's so, everybody who hasn't seen that, go watch it. Go watch Kids in the Hall brain candy. It's over 20 years old at this point. And like the jokes and the nonsense that we made fun of in the late 90s, early 2000s about what we thought was going to come jokingly, it's true. It happened. Like, Idiocracy came true. It's real.
Yeah. And that one especially, like you thought, like sometimes the parody is just so over the top and that's why it's there to make you laugh. But we're in the post-truth world. We're in the dark cartoon.
Dude, go back and watch South Park from 2010, 2011, 2012.
Bro, you know what I watched today? I was sitting, so another thing I was watching.
It's crazy.
I was watching The Simpsons, 2008, and it was the Halloween episode, okay? And this just cracked me up because that's 2008, that's 15 years ago now, right? Yep. And the lead of the show, the very beginning, it was an election year, obviously, 2008, and it's Homer going to the polls. So he goes to the polls, says, all right, I want to go vote. They try to put him into one of the booths. He's too fat. They tell him to go into the double booth. And he goes, ooh, it's one of those new electronic machines. So as he starts to try to vote for Barack Obama, every time he presses it, it says John McCain. And he ends up voting for John McCain like 10 times. And he makes the point that these things are unsafe. And then the machine kills him. Because it's the Treehouse of Horror episode. So 15 years ago, it was all right to talk about voting machines and corruption. Now,
only one way, only one direction.
It's a bad news, Brown. But again, it's crazy to me. That was 15 years ago, and it was politically relevant then, and it was an issue we could talk about. And now we can't even talk about it because if you do, you're a domestic terrorist and a white supremacist.
Bro, we live in a world where questioning science is now not allowed. You're literally not allowed to question science. That's like the whole point of science. That's all science is questions. Questions. Hi. How. Who, what, where, when. How's it work? Like, that's science. That's the whole point. But nope, not anymore.
No, the science is REXULTIi, bro.
These days, everyone expects you to like everything and be positive. But with my depression, it's hard to keep up this brave face and hide my symptoms. Even though I'm taking my antidepressant, I still feel depressed.
Even though I'm on a drug.
Oh, yeah, this is all heavily marketed towards women. Because women are the ones who spend the most money. They're the ones who spend 80% of purchases. Like, they're the ones who spend the money. And they're also the ones who bought into this lie of feminism and abandoned what they're programmed to do. And now they're wondering why they're sad. They decided not to get married and have kids and be strong, independent women. And they're sad now. They don't know why. I wonder what it could have been.
Many people taking antidepressants still experience symptoms. When added to an antidepressant,
literally every doctor was a blonde woman in middle age or older. I just want to point that out. Every actor was a middle-aged blonde woman giving you REXULTIi. Very non-threatening, mother-like, but at the same time attractive. You should trust that person because they're not a doctor, but they're an actor. And actors portraying doctors for big pharma can be trusted.
REXULTIi is proven to reduce depression symptoms 62% more than the antidepressant alone. So you can stay on your current treatment and help build on your progress.
They don't teach critical thought at all. It's like, why? I'm already taking something that's supposed to work. And you want me to take something else on top of it that'll help it work 62% more? Like how much was the original pill supposed to work?
Did that only work 14%? Like,
yeah, was that only like a 14% working pill? And then if I double up with this one, if I double stack on these pills, then I'll get the 62%? Or is it like it's 8% with the other one, and then I take this one, and that one's 62% better than
8%. So that means it's only 14% effective.
That still only puts you at like 8 point something, 8.62 or whatever for effective. Like
elderly dementia patients have increased risk of death or stroke. Antidepressants may increase suicidal thoughts and worsen depression in those under 25. Call your doctor if
I was 24 before, but I guess it's 25 now.
you have fever, stiff muscles, and confusion, which may signal a life-threatening condition, or uncontrollable muscle movements, which may be permanent. Increased cholesterol, weight gain, high blood sugar, decreased white...
Spasm, doing this the rest of your life?
These people have no shame.
Sad. At least I'm not sad anymore, guys.
Like, I'm still sad, but not as sad. Kinda.
Yeah. I'm only 62% as sad as I was before.
Like,
blood cells.
Sorry, I just ran over your family.
Seizures, trouble swallowing may occur.
Now when I say good times, I mean it.
Feel better about facing the world. Talk to your doctor about adding REXULTI. Pay as little as $15 for your refills.
On the outside, I looked fine. I got
that'll help you more. Let me put down this TikTok, lady.
really good at masking my depression, but inside was a different story. Even though I'd been on an antidepressant for months, I was still feeling depressed. Is there anything more I can do? No.
Yes. Look out.
Someone cut that at the end right there. That's a great cut. No. Notice that's not a blonde woman.
Yeah.
That's funny. I'm glad somebody cut the joke at the end. All right, let's talk some MMA, Fitch, huh? We haven't talked in a while. There's no BKFC this weekend. Is there a BYB?
There is. There's a bare knuckle MMA event, Game Bread, that is happening as we speak.
Let's look it up. I'm gonna look it up.
Free on YouTube, I believe.
Game Bread FC. I'm just typing them in. And yeah, you're right. It's on live right now after this show. Nelson's fighting? Roy Nelson?
Yep, Roy Nelson.
Dude, that's awesome. Good thing this is ending soon. I can't wait to put that on. How deep are we? Hold on.
We're going through 4 or 5 fights, I think.
Oh man, no, they're 3 hours in.
Yeah.
So we're close. Okay. But that's pretty awesome because then I can also fast forward through all this by going through. Very, very nice. Fitch with the game changer.
And I'm all about the bare knuckle stuff, so I may have to end up giving this a little bit of a look. And then, but there's some things that I would like, man. I would like the bare knuckle. I would like the knees of the head on the ground. I would like the soccer kicks. Also,
is that happening at one FC tomorrow? Is it
a little bit smaller cage? I think the cage being a little bit smaller would be better.
Well, I think they do that in the Trigun, but for some reason BKFC just does the promotion so much better. And the Trigun also has different types of mixed boxing events too. So like they had boxing on last week. BYB, bare knuckle. Let me see if they're on this weekend because I watch them a lot actually too. So let's see.
Yeah, I've been watching lots of bare knuckles. I think there's a.
Let's see. Is this?
But they have the 288 tomorrow with Cejudo coming back.
Yep, exactly. And against ONE FC.
And Gilbert Burns making a quick turnaround.
He's going to buzzsaw the ball. I like Bilal Muhammad a lot, man. Gilbert Burns.
I like both these guys. But like they keep pooping on Burns, man.
Burns going to kill him.
They don't push him enough.
I think he's going to murder him.
But yeah, I think Burns is too skilled everywhere. They don't push him enough. They've been holding him back. He doesn't have enough social media presence or some shit.
Which is nonsense, because if they pushed him the right way in Brazil and South America, he'd be huge. I think he's the next champ, honestly. He looks like he has, ever since he lost to Usman, in my opinion, he's got that George St. Pierre, eye of the tiger. I'm buzzsawing through everybody. I'm not going to be denied again. I'm not going to make the mistakes again. And no matter, in my eyes, the Usman he fought is over. The Usman he fought was undefeated. He almost got knocked out by Gilbert Burns in the first place. Now he's been defeated. Leon Edwards got his number in the second fight. Remember, we talked about that before. I said that would might happen because of the confidence. And, you know, fighting's very mental, too. I think Gilbert Burns is the next dude, so they might want to get behind him.
That's what I'm saying. They haven't, though. I feel like they could have gotten behind him a long time ago, but they'd rather push Colby. They'd rather push Masvidal, whatever other jokers they can find.
Mm-hmm. So,
yeah, because like, you know, they made him fight Chimaev, which I thought was kind of stupid. Because Burns should have been fighting somebody to line him up more for the title shot rather than a young, hungry guy, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then he didn't fight bad. It was a good fight. He wouldn't get destroyed.
I mean, that was a back and forth.
He made Chimaev look human.
Yeah.
You know, it's the first time anybody's made him look human. So, and then Chimaev probably isn't going to be able to make that weight again. So, like, I think it's another F up from the UFC.
Hey, listen, that could have been Gilbert Burns' fight, too. That was a very, very close fight. I mean, bottom line, like that was...
But it was all about the hype around Chimaev. It's always been the hype around the other guy. Like, they're never putting the hype around Burns. They just aren't. It's not right. He's too nice. And he doesn't throw dollies at buses or rape people.
Yeah. First of all, I just want everybody to understand, Conor McGregor isn't going to fight Michael Chandler. The only way that Conor McGregor fights Michael Chandler is if they throw a bunch of money at Chandler and they do it at a catch weight, because he's not making weight. He's out there boozing. Believe me, it made me sick. They brought him out the BKFC. I get why they did it, obviously. He's a huge draw. The guy needs to be in prison. That's another story. Are we getting knees and soccer kicks tomorrow in Denver, for one? That's the big question for me.
That is the big question. If the commission, we've seen the commissions. I don't want to see people use the commission doesn't allow blah, 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 blah. The commission bows down and does whatever the UFC says.
Mm-hmm.
If the commission wants to add new weight classes and the UFC said no weight classes. If the UFC wants to do it, it gets done. So we'll see if ONE FC can come in and be like, hey, this is the way we do things. This is how we're doing it. Like it or love it or don't. Because I know that the Bare Knuckles got licensed to do a show in Colorado. So where's the soccer kicks? Where's the knees to the head?
I'm hoping to see it. Fitch, tell people where they can check everything John Fitch out. You've been doing the Fitch Pilled. You're still doing the Learn to Fight stuff. What's up?
Fight stuff. Yeah, man, I got videos up on YouTube and Rokfin's. Check them out. Learn to Fight videos, the Fitch Pilled videos, and my John Fitch Knows Nothing every Sunday night is live. You can jump in on that. Go to johnfish.net, sign up for the newsletter. I got a free intro to practical self-defense course available to you guys. I've got a practical self-defense course also. I think things are getting dangerous out there, and you need to learn some basics on how to keep yourself safe and to get away from people. So check those out. Please check those out.
And guys, you know the deal with me. I am live now, not at 8 a.m. Eastern, but 9 a.m. Eastern, 9 to 11. I know, big irony there. Monday through Thursday. And guess what? Both hours are free. And we did our 2 premium interviews. They're going to tease through the week. They're going to be available next weekend. I do want to thank everybody that's gone premium, redvoicemedia.com/Jason, redvoicemedia.com/uncensored. Let you know that you now are getting the 2 hours at Rokfin. And guys, I'm going to have a big announcement about a new show that a lot of people already have seen me on and I've guest hosted. But word on the street is I might be taking over for that. So that's going to be 5 days a week, 5 more hours of my ugly ass every single week. It's too much, Bermas. That's 13 hours a goddamn week without the bonus material. So if you like what I do, guys, support me. The links are down below. Share everything. I'm paying for fucking Twitter now so that I can put these shows on Twitter. They cut out Media Studio, John, so I can't stream to that anymore. I got to post after the fact. I paid for the stupid blue check mark. I pay to stream on Rumble. I pay to stream on Podbean. Make it worth my while. Share the information at the very least. Check John Fitch out. He's got 10,000 subscribers over at YouTube. Let's make it 20,000 before the end of the year.
I got it done.
Fitch, See you next week. We'll do this again.
All righty.
All right. Later on, brother.
Take y'all later, guys.